So I have a question for all of you. How did the Giants win? No, that is my legitimate question for the day. Forget talking about today's episode of House. Well, I can, of course, I am going to talk about today's episode of House. But how? I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, so funny story. When it was the Cowboys versus the Eagles, and the Cowboys were actually doing like really well, if the Cowboys won, I had like the most perfect short ever. I was gonna dedicate it to the men and women of Philadelphia. It'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, my entire life, never have I ever been more shocked or happy to be totally wrong. I mean, it would have done that with the Cowboys, but arguably, the fact that it happened to the Giants is worse. That the Giants beat the Eagles. So yeah, this is great. I mean, I'm happy that. I mean, I'm both happy, but I'm also annoyed that I got that pick wrong. So that's kind of like I'm at a crossroads right now, and that's my low. My high is actually feeling rather excited today for my Horseheads Blue Raiders as they're going to Union Endicott, or as I have been calling it lately, the Tigers Den, because the Union Endicott Tigers. That's actually something I've been meaning to talk about. Like, we need to come up with like names for the stadiums. Like, think about it. Union Endicott should be the Tigers Den. Vestal should be the Bear Cave. Binghamton should be... Actually, where do you pay? Because they're the Patriots. Hold on. Let me look this up. Elmira should be called the Station. Because, you know, the Express. Corning should be called the Hawk's Nest. Oh. Hold on. Where do Patriots live? Okay, it immediately says Foxborough, Massachusetts. Where did Patriots live back then? That's what I'm saying. Where did Patriots live during the American Revolution? There we go. That should be okay. The 13 colonies. Okay. I'm not really finding anything useful to call that place. But while I'm on my computer, let's get to my act of kindness at least, which was I held the door for some people. And now, on top of that, let's go over my NFL pick. So, after what happened last night, I am now, if I can get to it, 0-1 going into week 6 because I got that game wrong. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. Before I talk about this week's episode of Hot Ones, I'm going to figure this out. Like, what kind of dwelling do Patriots live in? I mean, this is hard. What type of house did Patriots live in during the American Revolution? There we go. This is a more simple question. Okay, we have a variety of homes, the wooden farmhouses or brick houses. And one last thing. So, More for indoor. The stable. Yeah, the stables. Yeah, that's what Horsehead Stadium should be called, the Stables. The Stables Stadium. Hey! That's a good idea. I'm going to run that by some Horsehead's friends of mine and see if they like that. Anyway, let's get to this week's episode of Howlins because, speaking of sports, Luka Doncic was on yesterday, and it was a very interesting episode. Once again, we have the classic someone who thinks he can't handle spice, but he actually did rather well. I mean, it's funny. He said that, I forget how he worded it. He said, I wasn't nervous going into the finals, but I was nervous for the bomb, or something like that. I forget what he said. Anyway, they talked about the fact that Luka Doncic made his own foundation for youth sports, and I mean, here's the thing. If you don't know, AAU, which at this moment in time I don't know what it means. They're basically like it's travel sports, like travel basketball, travel baseball, stuff like that. And there really does seem to be like a lot of pressure on like youth sports for that reason. And that's why less and less kids want to do them. But Luka Doncic believes like just remove like this, like let the kids play, let them have fun, let them make their own mistakes. Don't make them feel bad if they, like have them learn how to correct their own mistakes. Let them learn how to feel bad about what they do on their own, and they can learn from that and do better. Full stop. There's actually one little girl in my area who's like 8 years old, and like every day she gets up and she just like practices dribbling the basketball. And like seriously, this little girl is like 8 years old, and she's better than like some high school students that I've seen. I've seen her play because her mom will post like videos on Facebook and stuff, but she's really good. Like, that's the sort of thing that's like youth sports done right. The smart, effective way. At least that's what I've seen. They talked about how Luka Doncic really focused on working out and what lifts do you recommend for average people, and Luka Doncic just said planks, which I show you guys what I know what a plank is. I mean, I used to do them a lot myself. If you don't know, you put your hands and forearms on the ground and your toes on the ground. You lift your body up and you're in a straight line for as long as you can. I used to be able to do, minute planks for me are pretty simple. I used to be able to do my planks for like 3 to 5 minutes. And that's still like, actually, I know back when I was really in my working out days, my planks were definitely longer than a minute. But yeah, planks. Okay. He talked about like, Sean asked him like when he retires and everything, like what highlights do you think he'll rewatch like the most? And the Western Conference Finals winner a couple years ago, and when they beat the Clippers in the bubble. Also, the NBA is way better at trash talking than the European League is. Although the European games are supposed to be pretty wild. Like, speaking of which, they talked about like the most wild game environments he's been in playing in the European League. According to him, it'd be Serbia, Greece, and Turkey. You know what? I don't think I would have guessed any of those. That's really cool. They talked about a Slovenian dish that could be served at basketball games, but there really isn't really good Slovenian food, so just I forget the name what he said, but it was some kind of like a Slovenian cake that they like something sweet to serve to kids or something. And he talked about the craziest thing he sees Kyrie Irving do is that he'll always find his way to the basket, no matter what. We'll get back to Kyrie Irving momentarily. They talked about his journey in developing as a passer. Because, I mean, yeah, to be able to score points in basketball is one thing. But remember, basketball is a team sport. You know, you don't need to do everything on your own. Heck, the third Sonic the Hedgehog movie talked about that, actually, when you think about it. I don't want to get into spoilers for the record. I haven't seen the movie. I just saw the scene I really wanted to see more, which, if you don't know, is I really wanted to see if Live and Learn would be played at all during the movie, and it was, so I'm happy. If you don't know Live and Learn, it's like the theme of Sonic Adventure 2. Great song. Honestly, like if you're looking for a song to listen to while working out, I highly recommend Live and Learn. Open Your Heart, which is the theme for Sonic Adventure 1, that's a great one too. What I'm Made Of, that's from the final boss battle in Sonic Heroes. That's a great song. His World from Sonic 06. Bad game, but that's a great song. Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog has a lot of really great music. Anyway, let's see. He also talked about how he's like one of the top like 500 Overwatch players in the world. And how like he'll interact with like fans of his while playing Overwatch, and how the game Medal of Honor was a game he played during his childhood, and also how while playing chess you can actually learn how to predict your opponent's next move, and you can learn how to do that on the basketball court. That's actually really cool. You know what? Speaking of songs to warm up to, Luka Doncic listens to Britney Spears. First of all, he talked about being with the cast of the Broadway show & Juliet. He talked about warming up to Britney Spears music. Specifically, his favorite song is "Oops, I Did It Again." And if there's a Mamma Mia 3, he wants to be in it, but he doesn't know how to sing, so he says it'll probably be like a background character or something. Would they ever really make a Mamma Mia 3? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you don't know, Mamma Mia was a Broadway show in which the entire soundtrack is ABBA music. And the movie is not very good. Apparently the second one is good. Don't know what the third one's going to be. If there is going to be a third one. This is actually a really cool thing for me. So, talk about stuff for my childhood. Listen, I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. Of course, I saw my fair share of Disney Channel original movies. One of them, of course, was High School Musical, which, of course, Luka Doncic likes because it involves basketball. And his favorite song is Get Your Head in the Game. It's a good song, it is. I wouldn't say it's my favorite song, but I definitely really do like that song. My favorite song is actually Breaking Free. Man, seriously, I was just listening to that song the other day. It still holds up, too. I mean, if you don't know, in the first High School Musical, Drew Seeley was Zac Efron's singing voice before Zac Efron learned how to sing. So if you listen to Breaking Free, it's Drew Seeley singing, but Vanessa Hudgens, my God. Like, this was the first, celebrity crush I had that was actually someone who was my age. And, yeah, man, Vanessa Hudgens, she still got it. I mean, she just won The Masked Singer a couple seasons ago. Of course she still got it. But, to think it all started from High School Musical, it's so cool. Also, for the Last Dab Thermageddon, apparently it's gonna be a major one-on-one tournament for the NBA, and Sean asked Luka if you could pick two people, the greatest one-on-one of all time, who would it be? and he said Wembley and Kyrie. Well, Kyrie said, I think he said Wembley. I couldn't quite get what I think Wembley. Hold on. Let me look this up real fast. Okay. I think he meant Victor Wembanyama. I think. Okay. Oh, Wemby. Oh, okay. Wemby. He said Wemby, not Wembley. All right. Yeah, so Wemby versus Kyrie would be like the greatest one-on-one showdown ever. Okay. Okay. That is interesting. Yeah, man. I mean, if you're a basketball fan, this is definitely I mean, if again, and I mentioned this on Tuesday when I reacted to the fact that Luka Doncic was going to be, in this week's episode of Hot Ones. If you're a basketball fan, you're really going to like this episode of Hot Ones. If you grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, you're going to like this episode because, again, they mentioned, Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again. They talked about Medal of Honor and childhood video games growing up with, High School Musical. I mean, this episode really spoke to my generation. And I mean that as a compliment. Yeah, man, it was great. Although, before I end this video, I also need to give, you know what? I'll save that for my short. But for now, I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm here helping this video for all of you guys watching. Joe for Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to us, we're here to lend those back. Take care. Make good choices. 607 all day, baby.